Good afternoon. I'm Julie Ashman. I'm with the Richmond Rose Society. I'm going to talk to you this afternoon about preparing your roses and your photographs for the show. The Richmond Rose Society will have its rose show this year, Labor Day weekend. Carol Fox and I co-chair. And we have horticulture, which people are very involved in, but we'd like to see more people involved with the photography. And so that's my goal today, is to get you energized and get you ready to start taking more pictures and be better prepared when you come to the show. First off, we are going to start with preparing a rose portfolio. Okay? All right. Organization is very important, and minutes matter at the rose show, because when they get ready to call time, you're rushing. You get nervous. A lot of times you take good photographs and they don't make it in because you didn't have time. So this is one of my suggestions, is to create a rose photography portfolio. They're very easy to make. Just get you a folder and start labeling according to what we do exhibit. Now, we have a paper today to give all of you about our rose categories. Yes. Carolyn Whitmore will be bringing one around to each one of you. And you really need to take this paper when you buy your folder and put it in there, because Carol Fox has nicely typed up each category with its description. You insert that in the front. That is so going to help you fill out your tags. Your tags can be filled out before you get to the show. You can also, when you come in, I would suggest before you sit down and start grooming your roses for horticulture, go into the photography room. We have a room just for photography, and pin up your photos. Make sure you put them in the right category, because they can get disqualified if they're not in the correct category. So that's why we have this paper today, to help you out. Okay, class 301, one exhibition bloom. That is one bloom at exhibition stage, no side buds, and it can be a hybrid tea, it can be old garden, so as long as it's a beautiful bloom, a single. Class 302, a spray, two or more blooms of any classification of roses. This class does not include collections, so you need one beautiful spray. 2 to 3. Generally, when you get more than that into a photograph, it starts getting very busy. Fully open bloom. One bloom of any classification of roses, fully open, side buds, fresh stamens. Fresh stamens are a must. Just like in horticulture, when you're grooming your rose, sometimes you'll spray a little moisture. You make sure that those stamens just look beautiful. Do the same in the photograph. Class 304, the rose garden. Any public or private rose garden. I think this is great. Connie just talked about inviting everyone up to Heartwood Roses on May 15th. 16th? 16th. Kitty Sampson back there has won prizes from your garden, taking photographs out there. She's won prizes from the Biltmore. Okay. All right. Next, 305, roses with critters. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Roses of any type, any state of bloom, accompanied by a critter such as a bee, butterfly, or frog. I learned a lot, stand back there with the judges, what they're looking for with that. So I think you're going to find that interesting. You need to pay close attention. 306 is shrub roses. Any shrub rose listed in the AR guide to roses, such as Dr. Griffith Buck, David Austin, Cordays, Drift, etc. 307, old garden roses. Photograph any Galagas, noisettes, hybrid perpetual species, polyanthas, ramblers, tea roses prior to 1867. If you have a question about an old garden rose, well, we have an expert here. Get in contact with Connie. Okay, class 308, macro photography. Photographs should be extreme up close, identifying any part of the rose or the plant. This could be a prickle, leaves, etc. Rose must be identified. Okay, so take that sheet, go through, label things clearly, just as they were listed. And once you have everything labeled, starting in May, when those roses start blooming, start taking pictures. Okay? Start putting them in here. All right? So right before the show, you can take them out, you can organize, you can get with a friend that has a good eye or someone who has done well in photography, like Kitty Sampson, and sit down with her and say, can you go over some of these photographs with me? Then this will be ready when you go to the show. You're all set that day just to walk back there to the photography room and pin up your photos. And then you can go back and start grooming your roses, getting uptight, full of anxiety, because you know it's competition time. But one thing you will have done, you will have put your roses up, ready for competition. Okay. Now, rose tag. This is not just a problem in horticulture. It is also a problem with photography. At our last show, we had two kind judges. They actually moved the photographs and put them in the correct place. If you do not know where it goes, well, apparently you didn't fill out your tag correctly. Because once you look on this paper, and it will also be in the show book, fill out your section. Fill out the class, the variety. And then to make your life even more easier, get labels. Labels help you speed up in photography. They also help you speed up completing your tags in horticulture. We need to start off with the highlight. I think we need to start off looking at some good roses. We need to look at some flaws here in photography. And then I have some photographs that you're going to tell me, are they good? Are they maybe a blue, a red, honorable mention, based on what I tell you today. All right, we're going to look at this one. This is Cherry Parfait. This is a silver winner. It is framed, but on the day it was exhibited, this was perfect. You could see the entire rose. It's very important not to clip a petal. It's very important for your leaves to be green. Not brown, not a little black spot on it, not yellow. but for the leaves to be green. So this is a healthy looking rose. It's very healthy. All right, this is a gold, and this is popcorn drift. Again, the rose is perfectly fitted in the frame. Not a lot of clutter up here, not a lot of clutter down here. Just beautiful green leaves that aren't interfering with the bloom itself. They're complementing the bloom. Mardi Gras, am I correct, Kitty Sampson? Thank you. Didn't have this one labeled, so I wanted to make sure it was correct. Beautiful, one bloom, exhibition form. You can see the background is brick, but it's kind of complementing the color. It's not taking away from it. The leaf is very nice. And she does have it framed right now at the moment, but all petals were fully visible. None of them were cut off. Now this one is gorgeous. Love this. Cottage Hill. Kitty Sampson, whose garden did you get this from?
Connie Hilker's.
Connie Hilker's. Beautiful specimen.
Oh, Marion Brown.
Marion Brown. Okay. And very beautiful, perfectly in the frame, healthy green leaves, and the background is black. Now, was that based on the time of day that you took the picture, or did you have it up against a black background?
I might put a velvet background on that one.
You put a velvet background on that one. Okay, thank you. Very beautiful. Another winner. Okay, here we have a beautiful spray of Cinco de Mayo. In this spray you have 3 lovely blooms. Beautiful stamens, beautiful leaves, no distractions, fits well into the frame, nothing is cut off. Very important also for spray for it not to get too busy. So this is beautiful. All right, now we're going to talk about flaws. And sometimes they're not always flaws. You've got to remember that judging is more subjective than objective. They try to be objective, but naturally their own perspective is always going to be there. Okay, roses with pest or critters. Okay, here's the rose. Here's the critter. Very disproportionate. It gets more attention than the rose itself. It's also a lot of clutter in the background that could be distracting also. Now with this spray, love it. It is so pretty. I love the cups, I love the stamens, but it's been cut off. Now, you're not taking pictures for friends, you're not taking pictures for a magazine, you are taking a picture for competition. The judges want to see it all fit nicely inside the picture. Okay, here is the beautiful rose, Love. It looks amazing. This is either dew or rain. However, that becomes a sticky wicket because some judges like the dew or the water drops, and other judges don't care for them. So why create a photo that a little risque, you know? One judge might like it, other judge might not. Just wait either for it to dry off later in the day or This could have been created with water spray. Okay, next, this rose has a beautiful color. But as you can see, there are distractions in the picture. One, it's a stem that comes up right behind it. That's a distraction. And it needed to be a little bit more centered, and it needed to bring the rose more out. Okay, this is Rose Garden. Now, beautiful statuaries, beautiful companion plants, roses fresh, but as you can see, that particular time of day gave a dark, shadowy area. Simply go back and take it another time of day. All right, so here we have a beautiful bloom, exquisite. But then we have some distractions because there's also blooms in the background, and it's not part of a spray. Very, very pretty. Actually got a second place. What could have made it a first? Got a little red rose right there. Little minor distraction. Now, you could have went back and cropped that. Okay? Or maybe just clip that rose. Use it for something in the house, you know, put it in the bathroom in a vase or something. Okay, here we have our flaws. Okay, so you've seen the good. You've seen where they needed a little help. All right, now I hope you can see these because I'm going to ask you, what category would you put that in?
Straggling.
It's got a critter.
Critter.
Uh-huh.
Oh, is that what that thing is? Okay.
Okay, now this was best in the show. 4 roses with pests. Okay, tell me what is different about that pest versus the one we saw earlier.
It's smaller.
It's smaller, and you get to appreciate the beauty of the rose more. So it's more proportionally correct. All right, very beautiful rose, Scarborough Fair. It's a David Austin. What do you think might have kept it from being a blue?
The background.
The background. And this is a red. Neat thing about it is until you win a prize, you can actually show this again. Once it wins a trophy, it is retired. And photography is subjective. So the background may bother and distract some, but we could possibly put it in another show and it could win. All right, what category? Queen of Hearts, Fairy Tale, Floribunda.
Spray.
Spray. It's going to be a spray. All right, now this is a red. What do you think could have been done differently for it to be a blue?
Too many of them.
It's too many of them. Probably should have just went in there and found a nice spray, 2, 3, maybe 4 tops, but it got too busy. Thanks. Okay, now we have a spray of Mardi Gras, a Floribunda. Beautiful, but honorable mention Could have been so much more. What do you think the judges might have saw as a flaw in this picture?
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's something big. It stands out. And I told you to look for it when those blooms are open. Stamens. Correct. So we have 2 beautiful stamens. And then the third one, what color is the stamens? Just about. Just about. They're so brown. Okay. Love and peace. Now this is a second place. This is a red.
Too much light.
Too much light. Yep. Too much light. Okay, you caught that. It was too much light and one more.
Great.
The leaves.
The stem at the bottom, the leaves.
Yeah, you could have came in more. Came in more. And like I said, you know, you have time. Go back out there, retake the picture. And you know, you can use both your cell phone and your professional camera. Take it with both. If you take it with your cell phone, you're immediately going to say, I have too much light. I need to go back out there and take it later. It is suggested that you take in the morning before what time? Does anybody know?
About 10.
Before 10. And then in the afternoons, go back out when? After 4.
The golden light.
Whoa. Gorgeous. Lucky, excuse me, happy-go-lucky, grandifloral. Now, I don't know if you can see it.
Is that a side bud?
There's a side bud. No side buds. Gosh, y'all are good today. Wow. Okay. What category? A spray. All right. What? There's a big distraction here. What is it? The one on the side. Exactly. You can see another bloom beginning down here on the side. What category? Garden. Okay, it is a second. This is the Biltmore Rose Garden. What could have been done differently that you think it could have raised it to a blue first?
It doesn't look like it's centered right from here.
Doesn't really show you.
Zoom in
Roses,
better.
yeah.
Roses aren't that much.
Zoom in.
Roses should be
Too much.
Zooming in would have done what with the lighting?
Got that road out of the way.
Right, exactly. Get the road out the way, come in closer, and it would have been brighter.
Landscape.
Now, photography judges, they've judged horticulture. And they're going to expect you to do something with your rose if it needs it. Now, this is Belle's story. This is far away, so I don't know if you can pick up what this rose might have needed before the photograph was taken.
The 3 petals
There you
taken
go.
off.
Look right.
Cleaned it up.
Cleaned it up. It looks like it has some kind of little bugs or mites. I mean, a simple Q-tip could have cleaned those out. All right. Rose garden. There's a distraction there. Can you catch it?
The border of the garden at the side.
There's something at the top.
It's something at the top. It's my big head. So the person that took this picture, they didn't see me apparently. And this again is the Biltmore. And so if I had not been in that picture, because I am a distraction in this picture, it's an honorable mention. All right. Beautiful Mardi Gras again. Except what category would you put it in this time?
Whatever doesn't need good staining.
What category would you put that one in? Fully open. Fully open. Now, what would you have done differently? Critiquing it. What do you think you...
Good stamens? They just look round.
Yeah, needed better stamens. What else?
Maybe a better background.
Better background. Come in a little closer. Oh my gosh. This is gorgeous. Connie Hilker, I might need some help pronouncing this. Dagmar?
Draw dog.
Is that for
Dagmar Hastra.
That's it. Say it again.
Dagmar Hastra.
Very good. Dagmar Hastra. Okay. Old garden roses have always been a challenge for me to pronounce. That's beautiful. It is. I didn't get anything.
Was it misplaced?
No, it was not misplaced. There's a big distraction here.
The buds in the upper right-hand corner.
There are, and even buds, and it even needed to be deadheaded behind it. That is gorgeous. So see, little things like this can be taken care of. Taking another photo, or going back in to rechop, or just go back outside. Hey, I got back in the house, looked at what I've taken photos of. Let me go back out there this afternoon and clear this up. Clip it. Okay. At last. Haverty. Beautiful. What category?
Open bloom.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what was, now if it was in the horticulture, what would you have done? What would you immediately done when you were prepping it?
Pulled out some little petaloids.
Pulled out those center petals. Okay, now look again at the leaves. What would you have done with the leaves?
One that has yellow on it?
The ones that have yellow on it, what would you've done? If it was horticulture, you would immediately, wouldn't even thought, you would have what? That's it. You would pull them off, put them in your pocket. Okay. Love the color in this. These are very, very rich petals. This is mustard and ketchup. This is open bloom showing. Stamens look good. What needs to be plucked out?
The petals with the color flaw.
The petals with the color flaw. All right. Here we have cherry parfait, exhibition form. Gorgeous. Now there is a photograph of cherry parfait up here that won. Won at silver.
That's the same plant.
Same plant. But this picture was not put in, and tell me why. The leaves. If you notice, right here, the leaves do not look good.
Why not crop it?
Well, that is the problem that we're seeing. Well, the judges get back there and see it. What you would put out there in horticulture, groom it, it would be beautiful. Okay, you're going to really take an analytical eye and examine it well before you put it on that table to be shown. This is not happening always in photography. So you are looking at that beautiful bloom that you grew, and you know everyone else is going to fall in love with that bloom. Well, you need to stop and check yourself. Okay? You would not have put that on the horticulture table. Okay, here we go. Again, we have a distraction. Move it, pluck it off, get it out the way. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous rose. Gemini. Okay. Third place. What would you done differently? Or could you show this again at another show? Yes. Why could you show this at another show? It didn't win a trophy. And not only that, Really Good Eye is going to tell you what you can immediately do with this for a better score. That's it. And Betsy knows she's always winning. Crop that, and that is absolutely gorgeous. That could go from a 3, third place, looking back on this tag, to 1, first place. Trophy. Yeah. All right, now, the thing about photography is no one becomes an expert overnight. And I brought along some issues of the American Rose. This is why it's important to join the American Rose Society. It is so much knowledge in these magazines every year. Curtis Allmiller. Anybody heard that name before? Somebody tell me, who's Curtis Allmiller?
He's the national chairman for photography.
National Chairman for Photography. Okay, so I'm looking at this issue. This is March, April 2020. If you still have that, go back and read it. I learned so much from this article. Okay, here's another. This is October 2020. Another one on visual impact by Curtis Allmiller. Tips and information on photographing roses. When you are finished reading this, you will probably wonder why can't I go out there and judge roses? Because he zeroes in on things that we never thought of. He also gives us tips how to make it even better. Okay, this is July, August 2020. Again, another article he's written. Okay, so you want to learn about photography? Open your American Rose magazine. Generally, Curtis Allmiller does have an article in there. And last but not least, can someone tell me what holds people up at the Rose Show from not getting their photographs in? Well, if they put them in the wrong class, it's still getting them in there. But what is holding it up that they're not coming out of people's bags onto the displays?
They don't have their card filled out.
They don't have a card filled out before they get there. You know, have your card filled out. All this can be done. Labeled. Make sure you spell correctly. Very important to have your handbook for selecting roses. You're going to know what type of rose it is. You're going to spell it correctly. Tags are going to be done. We actually, at our last rose show, had a lady that was walking around helping people spell, helping them put them in the correct section. You can do a little better than that, okay? You can do a little better. So have this done.